So you are live right now on the Zach Moonhsine Show with Metal Devastation Radio. Tell us what's going on in the world of narcissistic necrosis.
Hey man, a whole lot's happening. We're getting a lot of merchandise pushed out right now. Looking to order some t-shirts and probably some long sleeves. We're going to get a merch bundle. Pretty much the whole shabam. Looking at some stickers, patches, pins, all sorts of unnecessary stuff like that, right?
Hell yeah, dude. For people out there that want to go check out more about you guys, where can they go?
You can definitely check out our socials. You can check us out on our Facebook, Narcissistic Necrosis, and on our Instagram. You can check us out on our Bandcamp. For sure, check us out on YouTube too. We got a YouTube channel. We'll be actively uploading music videos and playthroughs and neat shit like that.
Awesome. So, tell us a little history about the band. Like, how did you get started, and how long have you been doing this?
Well, believe it or not, I started the band as a one-man project late in 2014, and just kind of more or less grew into a full-time band just back in December 2019. I kind of started to take it more serious, and I was like, hey, I actually want to play this stuff live, and I want to play it with actual musicians. Before it was just a musical hobby, more or less. And then I started recording the album, and halfway through the album, I kind of got a idea of just how massive it was going to be production-wise. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to put this much effort into recording, I might as well put this much effort into starting a band, going full out with everything, right? We were planning to have a CD release show and everything with merchandise and everything, a couple local bands opening up for us, but unfortunately COVID had to postpone that.
Yeah. COVID has fucking postponed a fucking shit ton of fucking shit, man. It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's crazy. All of our shows just fucking down the toilet.
How do you feel? How do you feel it's gonna be going forward? Like, I don't know. What's your opinion on what the future holds as far as all that's concerned?
Oh, geez, I don't really know, to be honest. I'd like to say we'd start having shows sometime early next year, hopefully, like maybe even later on this year. I'm not sure what it's like down there in the States at the moment, but here in Alberta, we pretty much can't have indoor gatherings larger than about 50 to 75 people inside bars. So it's kind of defeats the purpose of playing shows.
Yeah. Yeah, down here, I really don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, like, to be honest with you, man. It's so different everywhere you go here in the States.
Exactly.
I mean, you know, you go one place and it's like nobody fucking cares and it's just whatever, and then you go somewhere else and it's fucking, you know, it's totally opposite. And nobody can seem to agree on anything, so it's just back and forth, fucking battle of the wills, I guess you would say.
Yeah, I completely hear you.
I don't know, man. It sucks, though. You know, I wish something would happen. I wish it would just fucking go away, for God's sakes, man.
Yeah, I completely agree. Can't wait for shows to come back, more or less. But until the meantime, we've been looking at doing hopping on that bandwagon of virtual live shows. Probably do a couple live sets here and there with the band. You know, once it gets, I guess, safe enough to start practicing and recording it together and shit like that.
Yeah, man. No shame in that. I mean, you know, so far it seems to be a good outlet for a lot of bands. And, I mean, what else are you supposed to do, you know?
Exactly. Just focus on writing more material and just focus on our press release promotion at the moment.
So let me ask you, as far as, like, getting into metal, what were some of your influences?
Oh, man. Big, heavy influence, Cannibal Corpse. I think that was pretty much the first death metal band I got into. That along with Hypocrisy. I didn't know music got that heavy until I started listening to that shit. I think I was about 12, 13, give or take, when I started getting into the world of death metal, as you call it. Definitely say Morbid Angel and older bands like that, Deicide, Suffocation, are more of my influences.
Hell yeah, man. Love all those guys, dude. Hey, you mentioned Hypocrisy, too, man. That is one of the most, in my opinion, man, that's one underrated fucking death metal band for sure.
Oh, completely.
I first heard. I remember getting the "Death Is Just the Beginning" compilation, Volume 2, and it had Hypocrisy on there doing "Life Is Filth." I think was the
Hmm.
song. Dude, that fucking riff and the fucking just the tone of it, the fucking vocals, just that stood out to me, and I remember immediately just like, what the fuck is this, man? Yeah,
Hmm.
good shit, man.
Yeah, this is definitely probably one of the more heavier underrated bands from down there.
So, as far as so you guys have never played live, correct?
No, not yet. We just pretty much started our four piece back in January, February, I want to say. And we were just about show ready, and we were looking into planning the show release until COVID shut everything down, and I think it was April.
Oh yeah. Um, as far as like some of the song themes and stuff, like lyrically wise, how would you describe it?
Um, it's a bit philosophical almost. Like a lot of the songs are almost taken like metaphorically, or they're kind of interpretable, subjective, if you will. Like some of the songs, the I guess the best way to describe it is it's a mix of grindcore style lyrics, kind of moving into the death metal territory, where it's trying to be brutal without talking about gore or killing people or any of that crazy shit, right? Like it's meant to be a brutal album without any of that in there. I don't know if you've got a chance to read any of the lyrics, but none of the lyrics, there's no gore, there's no cussing or swearing or anything like that. It's kind of all, like I said, like philosophical almost.
Right on, man. Right on.
Kind of like how Chuck from Death was, right?
Oh yeah, cool. Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, rest in peace, Chuck.
Hmm.
That's another one. I got some questions for you coming in from the chat room, man. Let me see here. Lady Red wants to know. Well, she's asking, what are a couple of Canadian bands that you've played shows with, but you haven't played? Have you played live in another band before this, or?
Yeah, believe it or not, I'm actually the frontman to a band out here in Alberta called Death God. We're one of the more prominent death metal figures, you'd say, out here. You can check out our EP too, as well, on Spotify or YouTube, Facebook. A lot of the better local bands we've played with, I'd got to say, right off the top of my head, are Deathress, Widow's Peak, Pathetic. We've opened up with just about every live act in our hometown. It's hard to pick a favorite for sure, but I'd just like to list off a couple local favorites: Hyperia, Siren, Picado, Lucifix. Man, I could spend all day here listing all the bands that we played with here.
Hell yeah. She also wants to know, have you ever played in Winnipeg?
No, not shit. We've got a lot of offers to play in Winnipeg, and a couple bands that want us to come out there. So, as soon as all this pandemic shit blows over, that's one thing we definitely like to explore is, having some mini tours, come play on that side of Canada, and get our exposure out there.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm sure if you ever do, she'll probably show up and bang her head for you.
I'd really appreciate that. I'm sure the whole band would.
Another question, Thunderous wants to know, what band would you want to headline for, if you could headline for anybody?
Oh, that's a really good question, but I'd love to headline for Devourment. Big Devourment fan. Also would love to open up for Dying Fetus, Decrepit Birth, Nile, stuff like that.
Hell yeah, man. As far as are you guys let me see here. I got another question from Lady Red. She wants to know, what do you prefer better, bubble baths or showers?
Bubble baths tend to be a bit more relaxing on my muscles, believe it or not. I'm a big fan of the bubble bath. got on the bubble bath hype this quarantine break. I don't know. How about you, Zach? That's a tough one.
Me, it's usually the showers, man. My bathtub's actually really small, so I can't fit into it. I mean,
Fair enough.
I probably could, but like my fucking legs would be hanging out the sides and shit. And I don't know. It's just,
Wouldn't be comfy.
yeah. I never really have the time to just. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I could make the time if I really wanted to, but I don't know. It just doesn't happen. I'm a very busy dude, fucking nonstop.
No, definitely looks like it. I really, admire all the hard work you put into promoting fucking Metal Devastation Radio. Believe it or not, I used to headbang and listen to this radio back in fucking 2012, 2013, back in the day. Like, I'm a long time listener of the radios.
Oh, thanks, man. That's cool, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fucking. It definitely takes up a lot of my time. Plus, I work full time at a fucking factory during the day, and I got a family, kids, and shit. So, yeah, it's nonstop, dude.
I can believe it.
So, as far as alcoholic beverages, do you guys drink?
No, I'm actually about 4 years sober as of sometime this week. But geez, I can't speak for the rest of the band. I'm not too sure what those guys' favorite drinks are. I know that Mike definitely doesn't drink, our bass player, but Jaden, I can't speak on their behalf of what their favorite drinks are.
Right on, man. Well, congrats on that, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
For all the gearheads out there that want to know what kind of equipment you guys used recording this record.
Believe it or not, I recorded the guitars with the Kemper Profiler. Can't tell you off the top of my head what patches we used and all that, but we did run it through an Apollo interface. It's crazy fucking expensive, $1,800 or something interface, and all these bells and whistles on it. What else? We recorded the bass straight DI. We didn't use Kemper for that, so everything was just pretty much DI. And the drums we programmed. I helped program with Garrett on that through Easy Drummer.
Oh yeah, the Apollo. That's isn't that interface where it's like they put all the fucking, instead of having VSTs and stuff on your computer, they put it in the processor itself.
Exactly. Yeah, it's pretty sick. It came with all this crazy ass software my sound engineer was explaining to me.
Yeah, I've looked at that before and read a lot of reviews about, like, I don't know, I'm a nerd about stuff like that. I love shit like that, but I've never tried it or anything like that, so I've always wondered what it was like.
Well, yeah, believe it or not, that's the vocals, guitars, everything's all recorded through that. Everything except the drums, I guess.
That's awesome, man. Well, it definitely sounds good. Like, it's got a very organic, good production to it. Like it sounds like it was done in a really, I don't know, massive studio or something.
Yeah, it definitely does. I'm more than pleased with the way it turned out.
Another question: What place when the world dummies up and opens up would he love to? Your one day. Would you love to play at? I guess. What place would you like to play when the world opens up?
Well, kind of like to just keep it simple. And there's this really fine local pub that we all know about here in Calgary called Dickens Pub, and it's pretty much where every local band likes to have their CD release show and everything. Like it's a more or less like a fan favorite there. It's one of the bigger stages, better sound systems. All the staff there are completely terrific. The location of it's nice. It's right downtown Calgary. Yeah, that's pretty much where we wanted to have our CD release show.
Oh yeah, man. Looking back on your career so far, are there any mishaps or any crazy moments or anything that stick out in your mind that you'd like to share?
Well, I can just say in Death God, we've opened up for quite a few number of bands that I'd never ever dreamed I'd shared a stage with. Back in 2000, I think I want to say 15, we opened up for Moonspell and Septic Flesh. That was quite the honor. We've opened up for Skeleton Witch. We've opened up for, let's see, Narcotic Wasteland. I'm not sure if you heard of that. That's a Dallas Toller Watts band from ex-Nile. And shit, yeah, there's quite a few bands that we and Children of Bodom. That's one I'm missing. We opened up for Children of Bodom, Swallow the Sun.
Hell yeah.
That turned out to be a pretty good show.
Children of Bodom always seem like a pretty fucking wild bunch of fucking characters. What were they like backstage? Was it anything like what the media portrays, or?
Oh no, not whatsoever. Fucking, they all, half of them kind of seemed crabby, like they kind of didn't want to be there, or they were just tired. You know, it's tour life, right? And then the other half were actually they sort of acknowledged us, and they were cool, and you know, sat and talked with us. So, and I guess I can imagine it's probably a bit toned down, right? Especially once you cross the border, right? You can't bring your drugs across the border unless you're super sneaky about that. So I'm not sure how fun the bus is here in Canada for touring American bands.
Maybe that's why they were crabby.
That's probably why they were crabby. What's wrong?
What's your opinion on the recent split up between them, with Alexi going solo and everything?
It's actually pretty tragic. Like, we just finished opening up for them back in March last year, and then that shit happened, and it was just kind of like, oh well. At the same time, we were grateful we got to open up for them, but it's definitely kind of, it's shitty, right? Like, growing up liking that band, like, I want to say, like, most of my teenage and adulthood life, like, you know, it's sad to see a band break up like that, more or less, right?
Yeah, for sure, man. I remember I seen them. I think it was they opened up for Black Label Society, and Clutch was there too. I think it was really strange
Wicked.
lineup, but it was cool. I loved it. I mean, I love all those bands, so it was really cool. But
oh yeah, nothing wrong with that diverse lineup sometimes, right?
yeah, I think it should happen more often. You know, I know in Europe and stuff, like, it definitely, they're all about that. But over here in the States, it's very rare to see stuff like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Kind of like just death metal specific shows, thrash metal specific.
Yeah, it's like Death Fest or Doom Fest or Black Metal Fest. You know, it's like
Exactly.
everything's segmented. Fucking the division. They're always trying to keep us divided.
That's totally how it is.
In one way or another.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So tell us what's going on as far as coming up in the future. What do you guys have planned?
Well, believe it or not, pretty much got the second album, I want to say 70% written. And then I just want to go over it with the rest of the guys once we can start practicing and stuff, just to confirm that, you know, everything's cool with it. I pretty much write the majority of the stuff, and then I pass it back with them, and then they add or improvise their own lines, and then we kind of collectively agree on it, and then we go from there is how we've been writing the new material. So we just want to finish getting that written, and then want to get straight back into the studio with Garrett right away, hopefully. I want to say spring, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Next year.
Well,
So yeah, definitely record the follow-up album, have it with a full band this time. Maybe do the drums on there with the real drum kit with Jaden, if, you know, that's something he wants to do.
we will definitely be looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, thanks, Zach.
About out of questions for you, man. Is there anything else you want to add? Let your fans know.
No, I guess I just want to give a big shout out to friends, family. Thanks for everyone for the support. I want to give a big shout out to, you know, mom, dad. Give a shout out to my girlfriend, Santana. Just want to give a shout out to the bandmates, you know, all the families and friends supporting me through all this, and, you know, keeping me going. I guess I just want to shout out A couple of my favorite bands too that I love, local bands. Want to say shout out to Death Risk, Widow's Peak, After Earth, Animosity, Citizen Rage, Benevolent Like Quietus, Infidus, Called, Third Chamber, No More Moments, Lyrian, Crimson Caliber. Fucking, like I said, man, I could go on and on. Like, I just want to shout out to basically my whole metal scene for promoting me and supporting me. This album's for you guys.
Hell yeah, man. I recognize Citizen Rage too, man. Ross used to actually DJ. Yeah. He used to DJ here on our station a long time ago.
Oh, what a small world. I fucking love Ross, man. He's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, love that dude, man.
He's a great guy.
All right, well, before I let you go, can I get you to make us a station tag real quick?
Yeah, no problem.
All
station
right.
Tag.
Whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Narcissistic Necrosis, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
All right. This is Narcissistic Necrosis, and you're listening to Devastation Radio.
Metal Devastation Radio.
You're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Take two, man.
Take two. This is Narcissistic Necrosis. You're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, man. Awesome.
Thanks for having me on, Zach.
Yeah, thanks a lot for taking the time to talk to us, dude. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Narcissistic Necrosis for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, all right?
Thanks, man. What track you got coming up next?
Let's see. Next up, I got Stigmatized into Devastation.
Love it. Thanks, man.
Hell yeah, man. Cheers. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Thanks for having me.
There you have it, folks. Narcissistic Necrosis, live on the Zach Moonhsine Show with Metal Devastation Radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your fucking windows, put them in your front lawns, put them wherever the fuck you can to make your neighbors fucking hate you. If you don't see U-Haul trucks everywhere tomorrow, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you, man. You need a new set of balls, a new set of tits, a new set of hands so that you can reach out to the volume knob and crank it up better. Something is seriously fucking missing with you if you can't crank this the fuck up. Crank it up right now, motherfucker.